Everyone in our generation is looking for quick money, quick relationships, and quick cars. You could say they're trying to hit a home run. And but the way they're trying to accomplish this, in my opinion, is wrong. If you look at a real baseball team, they load the front of their batting order with contact hitters, right? They have guys that are going to get on base, going to succeed, get that hit, right, to set up their later guys. So if you actually have quality things going for you on base, when you eventually hit this home run, when you hit it big, you'll bring in a few more with you. Remember, guys, a grand slam is way better than going solo. A grand slam changes the game. All right, real quick before we get into this episode. On the last episode, thank you for all the support, even though it was mainly my family and friends. What can I expect? I was just trying to get something out there, see how this went for us. But a couple friends and family did bring to my attention a small concern that in the last episode I was too sporadic, and to those people I say, grow the fuck up, please. Take better notes. You're probably multitasking. You guys, you won't always have mommy to guide your finger on the page. No, but seriously, that is a fair complaint. I'm sorry to anybody I offended with that. That's a very good point. I am a professional yapper, and sometimes to certain people it doesn't make sense, which is why I'm encouraging you to take notes, or at least pause the video, maybe turn on subtitles, something like that. But I mean, the overall production quality, let's call it what it is, not very good. I think we can all agree on that. So today I'll try to differentiate better between the points and jokes by using maybe some visuals or chapters on screen. I was clicking my pen and flipping my notes all the time last episode, which is not good. I just wanted to get something out there, like I said, so let's get on to it. By the way, if you did take notes on the last episode, even if it was with a little help from your mom, take them out, since that video could have just been a section of this video, honestly. Because this video is the larger issue, in my opinion, of this whole relaxation. We'll get into it. I just wanted, though, to milk that content, spread it out a little bit, and make more jokes about Cole's Cash or whatever I was talking about, I guess. So, welcome back to the Thinking Out Loud podcast. I'm PJ Bazo, and if you like this content on like Gen Z, kind of state of the world, simple living, or you just like background Minecraft while you eat, you are in the right place. One more time, I'm sorry. I know I've paused the episode a couple times. I do have to make a quick disclaimer that wasn't necessarily necessary on the last video. Money and health are going to be talked about in this episode. Those are two things I'm not an expert on. Obviously, I'm just a guy who plays Minecraft, right? I'm just a Minecraft YouTuber, not an expert on money or health. So please do your own research, I beg of you. And ask an expert what to do with your money or body. However, I have lived a little bit of life. I do believe that I can provide some insight. So do your own research, though. All right, let's get into this whole quick money, quick relationship, whatever. First of all, guys, there are no shortcuts. I know it's like a red pill kind of thing, right? And I think this is a very dangerous overall opinion, but there is a little bit of truth to it. Nobody's coming to save you, guys. Like, you have to go out and create your own value. And obviously, everyone knows this, right? You have to create your own value. You have to do something creative. You have to manage your time every day, choose who and what you're going to do today. Um, and I don't think there are any shortcuts to all these things, to being a complete person, a complete man, woman, whatever you're trying to be. But there are a lot of shortcuts being sold and marketed in our world. So I just wanted to go over four of those today and then ask a key question at the end that'll bring it all together. So let's get into it. The first shortcut that I think a lot of people, especially these days, are into is the gym, right? And supplements are kind of sold as this shortcut to the gym, right? They're the shortcut to being healthy or getting jacked quick. And I think almost everybody's tried a supplement before, right? I've tried pre-workout, creatine, and various vitamins, and I've never gotten any real effect from that. Like, I stopped taking almost all those. I'll tell you what I do take here in a second. But in my opinion, supplement is a hijacked term, guys, because those shortcuts, those supplements, are only effective when the aspect they're trying to supplement, the thing they're trying to improve upon, is already pretty dialed, right? Like, so the one supplement I do like, and I have found so far that I really, really like, and I take it almost every day when I can, is magnesium, right? And if you guys don't know about magnesium, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know about it either, but apparently it helps you relax, it helps you go to sleep a little quicker. So, this is not a shortcut to better sleep, better energy throughout the day, though, guys. Like, I think a lot of people, they expect to be able to take melatonin or magnesium or whatever you like and just boop, let out like a light bulb, but it just doesn't work that way. But when you start to get that sleep schedule dialed in and you're winding down properly before bed and you're going to bed at a similar time, well, actually going to bed at a similar time doesn't seem to be as important as waking up at a similar time. So find a wake up time. Everyone likes 7:30. I feel like that's kind of the universal wake up time. Especially for weekends for me, maybe a little earlier when I have to go to school, obviously. Yeah, a lot earlier actually, especially if I try to get some studying done in the morning. But find whatever that wake up time is for you and just go with that. And then once you get dialed and you're winding down and you feel like your sleep is already pretty good, I truly believe that stuff like magnesium or melatonin or whatever you ask your experts about and they tell you to take could really be beneficial and it could be super supplemental in what you're trying to do. So check those out, but get dialed first naturally, right? If you're into the gym, get your protein, get your water in, and get your intensity up before you start messing around with creatine. I live a busy life, so the gym is not always a consistent part of my life, even though it is one of my favorite things. So I've found creatine largely invaluable to me. And that's okay, guys. Like, it was making my gut health worse, so I understand it's super researched and it's probably not going to hurt anybody, but if it's not helping you, don't use your money on it. Alright, the next shortcut that I wanted to highlight in this video about shortcuts is vacations. And now this is a super, super hot take, guys. And maybe I'm just jealous. But I feel like vacations can be sold or kind of sold as shortcuts to relaxing and peace, right? But it never really makes sense to me, right? Since relaxation is something that you could and should strive for every day. And even if you do take this vacation, like I've been to the beach before, right? I know the beach is super relaxing for a ton of people, and I was relaxed when I went to the beach. But I only escaped my stress and my problems and whatever I had going on back home for a week or 7 days or five, maybe even 5 days, right? I don't know. I don't actually remember. When you come back, your problems were just paused. They weren't fast forwarded. They were just paused, recording, waiting for you to come back. You know what I'm saying? So I think you guys got to watch out for that. Like these vacations, they can be super nice, but they're not going to solve your problems, guys. They're only going to postpone them a little bit. So if you focus on just building up a better system at your home, right? And if you're truly relaxing for an hour every day, right? That's 365 hours in a year. And now, guys, like I said in the last episode, I'm not too good at math, but that was some pretty easy math. 365 days, an hour every day. Doesn't seem too complex to me. But if you're going on that 7 hour trip, assuming you're relaxing all 24 of those hours and you're not stressing about finding a restaurant, but you just end up going to Chili's anyway, that's only 168 hours of relaxation over those 7 days. To me, that just isn't worth it oftentimes. Um, this relaxation I'm talking about, by the way, guys, if you didn't see my last episode, I believe that relaxation is different for everybody, but I usually think it has something to do with consuming. So whether that's listening or reading or just kind of absorbing heat, sitting on the couch, get it staying warm. It is cold up here in the Midwest if you live around me. So whatever you're consuming, whatever relaxes you, get that done for at least an hour a day, and I think your life will significantly improve, and you'll start to go on vacation every day. Obviously, don't use drugs. I know fentanyl could probably be an amazing vacation for a lot of people. Guys, don't do that. That's stupid. Don't ruin the other 23 hours of your day for an hour of getting high. Come on, guys. What are we doing? I didn't even think I had to mention that, but I did. And by the way, guys, this whole hot take on vacations, I don't hate vacation. I grew up in a blessed household. I've been on quite a few vacations, I'd say. You know, true vacations, right? In the sense like everybody thinks of vacation. You know, you go to the beach, you get drunk, hang out, try to rizz up local bartenders. Well, I was a kid when I went to the beach, so I obviously didn't do any of that. But I've seen my share of this type of behavior. I've been there a couple times. I've been to Disney World. If you guys like that, you know, if you live anywhere near the Midwest, you guys know about the ritual. Going to Florida, you load up into the family SUV, roll down there for a week in spring break, and end up getting stuck in traffic right out front of an Arby's, rear-ended by some dude in a lifted truck, and then called racial slurs for getting rear-ended in traffic. Not fun, guys. So, yeah, probably don't participate in that ritual. And guys, don't drive lifted trucks on the highway. Anyways, I don't think vacations are necessarily bad. I think a lot of people get a lot of value out of vacations, and especially if you're a history guy. If you guys know me personally, you know I'm a history guy. One of my dream vacation would be to go to Italy. Actually, I'd love to go to Rome, absorb that history that I've read about or seen on television in real life. That would be awesome. All right, the next shortcut I'd want to talk about is one that I think you guys all saw coming, and that's relationships. Now, this whole relationship thing has become kind of an objectification or a business, right? And new inventions in pop culture have made dating into like a market. Right back in the day, you know, if you live back in the sticks, um, like myself, right, you might have 3, 4 girls to choose from, and then it was all about getting better for that person, or it was about going to war and then coming home and drinking your struggles away, which isn't getting better, so don't do that. Well, definitely go to war if you're a military guy. Please do that. They Guys, these new inventions have just created a market that just wasn't necessary, and just like any job market, right? I heard my dad was talking about this in the car the other day because he's working with a kid who's up and coming in his business, right? Right? He was telling me in the car, he's like, dude, job market, everybody's fucking lying, right? Like you go on an interview for the job, it's going to be you putting your best act against the company's best act, right? And he was saying like they're going to lay all their cards on the table. They're going to tell you all the benefits, all the vacations, all the potential salaries you can earn, right? And in return, you're going to show the best version of yourself as well. So everybody's lying, guys. So in these markets, I think time is the only thing that will tell the truth, right? So you can't get the value out of a 5-year relationship with 5 swipes on Tinder, guys. It just doesn't work like that. So I think real success comes from these day to day, not taking the shortcuts. You know, really getting to know your girlfriend or your boyfriend for that matter. Where you get better together every day and enjoy those long term benefits that come with long relationships, guys, because that is important. I've personally never been in a long relationship, but I aspire to one day, and I'm sure there are plenty of benefits. I mean, it's all over our society. We're designed to work like that. All right, the last shortcut, guys, we're going to talk about today before we wrap it all up into one big juicy point, is we're going to talk about investing. And now this is the most controversial one, and the one I honestly have the least expertise on. I just kind of got into the game recently. Obviously, being a high school student, you're not investing in middle school. So once I started working, moving dirt to get that money, there's a lot of ways to get rich quick. And this is a topic for another time. And this is super obvious. But all these new inventions, guys, all they're doing these days is just creating, in my opinion, new ways to get rich quick and skip climbing a ladder and getting better every day. So stuff like becoming an influencer, which is hypocritical as it gets, because I am actually legally an influencer because I have a Minecraft Let's Play. Obviously, in case you guys were knowing, if you wanted to become an influencer, just record Minecraft on your old laptop and post it on the big tube, and you'll become an influencer like me. I believe. But anyways, right? That's a topic for a whole nother day. But back in the day, the only get rich quick methods, right, was gambling, or maybe you get lucky, you buy some land, and there's oil on that land, and then you can drill down, get all that black gold coming out of the ground. You know what I'm saying? But right, there's just been more and more of those coming out every year, right? And these days it's all about the quick returns, guys, instead of stacking the compound interest, right? I know it was a big deal when crypto came out, right? Cuz that was another get rich method created by new technologies, new digital technologies specifically. So, you guys might be wondering if gambling, crypto, these kind of things are, if those are the home runs you can hit, what are the base hits? What are the nice free and easy contact hits you can take? And I would say that, guys, it's index funds, right? The elites always on win. The news at all during the time I'm recording this video. You definitely know about the whole Epstein situation. The elites, guys, they always make out. They always get their way. So the rich are always going to get richer, and even in a currently pretty bad economy, right? And I mean, I haven't lived through a lot of economies, and I'd assume that neither have you guys, right? But from what I've heard from older people, this is a bad, and experts, this is a kind of bad economy. Guys, the rich are still getting richer. S&P, the top companies, whatever Fortune 500s, they're gonna continue to get richer as they go and capitalize upon all these new technologies that they're creating get rich methods by. But they're just gonna keep getting richer. So I'd recommend getting a little bit of money in there, right, to load up your bases, and then if you want to take those gambles, right, you go ahead, and if you do hit that home run, it is going to be much more valuable, guys. Once you have your bases loaded, that home run, all of a sudden you get a few guys home. Now you've got bread upon bread. You know what I'm saying? It's like a bread sandwich. So I think you want to do that. But remember, always have a backup plan. Always have something, backup money you can pinch hit with, because you will lose, guys. Even if you're investing in top companies, even if you're investing safely and responsibly, you will eventually lose. So you'll need backup money to come in and pinch hit for you when needed. So those are my 4 examples of shortcuts that have become more and more popular, more and more normalized these days. The question I'd ask you, if you're thinking about taking any of these shortcuts, is where are you going with this? What is this doing for you? Guys, one of my favorite quotes recently, and this is going to sound super stupid, super obvious, and that's because it absolutely 110% is. At the end of the day, it's the end of the day, guys. And at the end of the day here, we live in a system for us to slowly lose value over time until we fizzle out and die. Unfortunately, I don't like to say it. I know you don't like to hear it, but it is what it is, guys. The most value you have, in my opinion, some of the happiest moments of your life will come at these younger ages. So don't waste them, guys. Like, I understand people, and I plan on even doing this a little bit myself, sacrificing my 20s a little bit to work and stack investments and live very frugally to be able to enjoy financial freedom as early as I can. And that is a very, very powerful thing you can do. I'm not going to deny that at all. So if that's the method you want to go with, please take that, because that will help you out, in my opinion. Understand, though, you do have to live life a little bit, and like I said, with the getting relaxation, getting creativity out, please do that, even if you are gonna be a little bit like me and sacrifice your 20s. But on that frugal living, guys, if you're never happy with what you currently have, you'll still have to keep working. It's a common thing in economics. People talk about with retirement all the time. So take your month or your yearly expenses. Let's say you need to spend $40,000 a year to afford your lifestyle. For every dollar, so $40,000, you'll need $25 for a safe retirement, assuming you stay retired from the time you're like 60 to 85, right? That seems pretty average. You'll start collecting some Social Security, obviously, unless certain politicians in today's political system abolish that. No comment on that. You can have a safe retirement, or you'll need those 25 years worth of life spendings for that safe retirement. So if you don't need to rush to that, and you can live on 20,000, guys, and you might be thinking $20,000, $40,000 a year was already low. Guys, go on YouTube, look up some guys. There are some guys living in super expensive areas of our country here. I'm assuming you live in the United States, but I'm sure this applies to everywhere else. And they're living on 20, 15, 20, 25, $30,000 a year, guys. It is possible. You just have to really try, right? If you can get value, all the value you theoretically need from $20,000 a year, by the time you retire, by the time you reach that financial freedom, you will die a happier man or woman. I can guarantee that. Guys, I already live pretty frugally. I don't spend a lot of money. I rely mostly on gifts. I buy everything I can in cash. And my monthly expenses, they used to be more expensive when I was going out eating, but then I learned how to cook. I've been doing less eating out recently. I used to, shop online a little bit, get little gadgets and gizmos online. Stop doing that. Your monthly expenses by doing these very simple things, even if you're a kid like me who, all I gotta pay for is gas and occasionally some ingredients to make some food, maybe a energy drink or a coffee here and there. Your monthly expenses will plummet if you can cut these things out. So, try to get that value from living frugally, and I think you'll don't take shortcuts, and I think you'll have a happier life. Anyways, boys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's been enough yapping for today. Today's episode ended up being a little bit longer than the last, but I think that'll do all right. It's a bit of a bigger, heavier topic, so I'll see you guys later. Enjoy.